Right, so we're over here where a scrap heap is, you've seen before in one of our recent videos. But when I was making that video, I happened to throw my eye up here and I didn't realise that spouting was as bad as it is. There's no bottom in it from there over to there. There's no bottom at all. And what's happening is your prevailing wind is coming from behind me, heading into that. And any water that comes down, there's a lot of water comes off that roof. When it falls down, the wind is blowing it in and it's soaking the cubicle beds just in this corner here. So we do need to change it. 3 lengths would actually complete the whole thing, but the actual last piece is fine. I had a good look at it here yesterday. I was up on the roof having a look at it and it's fine. It's just these last 2 pieces. Actually, the second one there in the middle is actually not bad. It's not leaking at all, but you can see the rust starting to come through. So it's only a matter of time, a short time before it'll fall through. So I'm just going to replace these 2 and be done with it. The job in hand now is probably to take off this pipe here. Disengage that. Have to get a lather down here. We'll have to cut off them gutter bolts because they're rotten, seized. I have already replaced the spouting on the other side. In fairness, a PVC spouting or plastic spouting would probably be better here. But the brackets are already up and them brackets are fitted under the sheeting. So I'm not going to go to the big rigmarole of having to remove, lift up sheeting and stuff to get them brackets out. I'm just not doing that now, I haven't time. So I'm just doing what I've done on the far side, just replacing them. These are up since 1987, so can't complain too much. So let's tear into it and let's sort this out. There's a nail in here too. You can get at it. I don't think the grinder can fit in. Nope. It's got a chisel or something to do this one. Right, well, the rest of the spouting off. I did not allow him to come off this thing here, so come on. It's just fighting with everything it has. That spouting there, see how full it is? And it's just in a really bad spot. I'll have to get up on the roof here to clean it out. And that's all coming from that tree that's over there. That's why I want rid of that tree. The rest of the family like that tree, yeah. It's lovely, it looks great. It does have all the gutters stuffed. It creates that much hassle. Every time I look at it, I just want to take it down. And it is rotten. This last while, half of it is rotten. And I need to remove it and I'll put up a shed. So that's a good excuse. I'm going to pull this thing out here. It has me sickened. Cut this nail off, tie this spot up and get ready to put on a new spouting, which would be half the battle of trying to get this old one off. Good riddance. So that's the first section on. I don't want to clean the spout on the far side. It's full of stuff the last length. I do need to clean it out, but I don't want to do it now because there's water laying in it. And if I clean it out, it's going to come running down here. And that stuff that I put on, I don't want to lay any moisture on that just right now. And it's given a couple of dry days and it gives this an excellent chance just to dry out. It's a great time for doing it rather than it peeing down right on top of you. Now our last section has to be done a wee bit differently and I'm thinking of putting it together now. Rather than having to do it when it's up on the roof. It'd be much easier to do it now. So I need to put this on. That's not pre-bored. I'll have to bore that. I need to put on its end piece as well. and just put the whole lot together. That's ready to go on this end here, so probably best to do that on the ground. Alright, so this is our end here now, and this guy has to go on here, and then that guy has to go on there, like that, and then it all has to be just drilled out and sealed as well. This old stuff is horribly sticky. Gets in your hands at all, it destroys all before it, and it's very hard to get off, so that's the reason I stuck on a pair of disposable gloves. Down here into that. Right, put the last piece of jigsaw together. Alright, so there it is. There is our new guttering up. I wish I could say it was a pleasant job to work on, but it wasn't. It was a horrible job, especially when you're working on top of this scrap heap here, where I just throw all my old steel. Just walking across that, you could trip and fall very easily. So nothing was pleasuresome about it, but the only pleasure I can take is that it's done, and it's not going to be running on top of the cows anymore. I'm sorry that it's gloomy and dark here. It's a gloomy, dark day, and that's the best way of putting it, but it's a job ticked off the list and a vital one to get done. Anyway, we plough on to something else. Alright, and that allows me to get out the filter, but I think I should take this other guard down as well. It's only going to hold on to all the oil if I don't. Okay, so we're missing one of them bolts on the far side. It's laying underneath the cover, so at least I've got it. I'll have to put that back on properly. I'm going to try to show you here. So you can see this. You see that black dot? Can't even put my finger up to show you. It's very, very tight, but see that there? That's your filter. So once you move the underpans, then you should be able to reach your hand in there and take out that filter. Hopefully. There she goes. I'll just put her hand down underneath here. Now that oil is still clean, but it's a good job with a new quad like this, especially the first two services, regardless of what the oil looks like. Just stick to the hours the manufacturer tells you. Right, so while that's drying out, let's take a pair of pliers on here and see if we can get this filter out. Come on, it'll be tight. There we go. Finally. A small little filter. Right, so here's our filter. We're putting in an original filter this time, Yamaha filter. It's not this very expensive or anything, and we're going to use the Yamaha oil as well that was recommended to use. So let's throw this into it. As you can see, you put a mat down the ground here and it doesn't last too long. That's it. Can I have your mat back? Hey! There's a mile back into this yoke. So just run the quad here for about 2 or 3 minutes. Just let the oil circle around and get a little warm again. And checked again and just topped it up. And we have it right there now. So I can sit this lad back on. It's locked in. Another thing I done was, if Hudson had moved out of the way, I jacked the front of the quad up just to get it as level as I could, because in here there is a wee bit of a slope on the floor, which could play on your oil. A small little slope on an engine like that makes a big difference when it comes to the dipstick, so just make sure you have your quad level. So that's another little job took care of. That's an important one as well. A lot of people do ask me about this quad. Have it now for, well, over a year now. It's hard to believe where time goes. I'm happy enough with it. It hasn't given me any bother. Over the Honda, I would say there is good things and bad things. There's a lot more good things, thankfully. I love the transmission, CVT transmission, over the electronic shift that I had before. Look, it depends what you're at, of course, too, but this is just instant power. I just really like how smooth it is. That's a big plus to me. I suppose a negative, it's not really a negative, but it is a more comfortable quad. Definitely, without a doubt, more comfortable to ride on, because you have this independent suspension here on the back. The only thing is, if you a boy that likes to drive a quad on or rip around after sheep and things, you'd have to be really careful, because this quad will roll a lot easier than the Honda, because the Honda had a fixed axle. This, when you go into a corner, she'll lean into the corner. So a wee bit more unstable, so you'd have to be careful out in the field if you're in sheep or cattle and you're racing after them. Definitely be wary, because she would roll, as far as I'm concerned, she would roll a lot easier. But otherwise, she's got the weight. If you were buying something like this, the big tyres, they're hard to beat. They're the oversized, what are they? Exactly, they're Kenya Bear Claw XLs. Fuel consumption, I'm not a big person for just clocking the yoke and seeing exactly how much fuel goes through it. Some people are, I'm not. I don't notice any major difference between it and the 500 TRX that we had. Remember, this is a 700 Kodiak, so bigger engine doesn't always mean that's going to consume more fuel, and I haven't found any real difference. And some people say they are harder than fuel, some people say the Honda's harder than fuel. So when people kind of cross-check each other back and forth, it tends to be very little in the difference, I find anyway. So look, they all take fuel, but if you're used to a 500 TRX or something like that, you're not going to notice a big difference.